Right, so it seems like all of you have been really digging deep into this whole artificial general intelligence thing.
Yeah, looks like it.
We're talking about the AI that can basically do any intellectual task that we can, and maybe even more.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys have sent us a ton of articles and even some firsthand
Oh,
accounts.
wow.
Yeah. So we're going to go beyond the headlines today
Okay.
and really get into what former OpenAI employees are saying about AGI.
That's cool.
The amazing potential, but also some of the pretty scary stuff.
Yeah. What's really interesting is that we're getting this inside look from the folks who are actually developing this technology.
Right.
We're going to be exploring excerpts from former OpenAI employees reveal the truth about AGI.
Okay.
And let me tell you, it's a real eye-opener.
I bet.
Yeah.
So by the end of this deep dive, you'll not only understand, I think, the key concerns these experts are raising,
Yeah.
but you'll also be equipped to evaluate the crazy fast pace of AI development yourself.
We're going to give you the tools to think critically about this tech that could totally reshape our world.
Absolutely. Okay,
Mm.
let's unpack this thing.
Okay.
First things first, how close are we to actually achieving AGI?
Right.
We're hearing from some former employees that it could be as close as 3 years.
Wow.
That's years, not decades.
Yeah, and that tight timeline is creating some serious tension.
Yeah.
You have some experts urging extreme caution,
Let's see why.
saying we just don't have the science to predict when AGI will arrive or how to control its impact.
Yeah, you would think that that would be a prerequisite.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's a lot of pressure within these companies to roll out AI as fast as possible, right?
Oh, absolutely.
It's all about competition and profit,
Mm-hmm.
even if it means pushing ahead without fully understanding the risks.
Yeah, it's a classic example of technology advancing faster than our ability to manage it.
Right.
And this tension is playing out in some pretty dramatic ways.
Oh.
Take GPT-4, for instance.
Oh, you mean the AI that went from failing to qualify for an international computer science competition to winning a gold medal the next year?
Exactly.
Crazy.
It even outperformed one of OpenAI's own former employees.
Wow.
This anecdote really shows just how fast these systems are evolving.
Yeah.
It's exciting, but honestly a little unnerving too.
I don't know about you, but I'm suddenly feeling a lot less confident about my coding skills.
Right.
So we've talked about the when. Now let's get to the what.
Okay.
What could AGI actually mean for us?
Right, because it's one thing to say AGI is coming,
Right.
but it's another to grasp what that actually looks like in our lives.
Like, how would it actually affect us?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Imagine a world where AI isn't just automating tasks,
Uh,
but actually making complex decisions in fields like healthcare or finance.
oh, wow.
We're talking about potential shifts in entire industries, not just individual jobs.
And these former OpenAI employees aren't sugarcoating things.
Not at all.
They're using terms like extraordinarily disruptive and even literal human extinction
Yeah.
when describing the potential consequences.
It's heavy stuff.
Yeah.
Think about applying for a loan.
Okay.
And instead of a bank officer, you're dealing with an AI that analyzes your entire online history to determine your credit worthiness.
That's kind of scary.
It is.
So that brings up a lot of concerns.
It does.
Let's dive into some of the specific risks that these experts are highlighting.
Okay.
And what makes this so powerful is that we're hearing it straight from people who are on the inside developing this technology.
Right.
One of the biggest issues they're raising is safety and control.
Yeah. This is really where AGI differs from the AI we interact with today.
Okay.
Right now, AI systems are trained under human supervision.
Mm-hmm.
But what happens when AI becomes more intelligent than its creators?
Yeah.
How do we control something potentially smarter than us?
Yeah. One of the most chilling things I read was a former employee admitting that in those early days, they were basically figuring things out as they went along.
Can you imagine that
Huh.
trying to control a potentially super intelligent system on the fly, knowing the risks, could be catastrophic?
That's a scary thought.
It makes you wonder if we're rushing into something we don't fully understand.
And it's even more concerning when you look at things like OpenAI disbanding their super alignment team.
Right.
This was the team tasked with figuring out how to control AGI, and they shut it down.
Yeah, it makes you wonder if the drive to develop AGI is taking priority over the crucial task of making sure it's safe.
That's a terrifying thought.
It is.
And then there's the issue of weaponization.
Right.
One expert said that OpenAI's new system is the first to show potential for helping create entirely new biological weapons.
Imagine a world where designing a deadly virus is as easy as writing an email.
Oh, God.
That's the terrifying reality these experts are warning us about. It's a stark reminder that this technology could be used for incredibly destructive purposes.
Yeah.
And what's really concerning is that the push for speed often seems to outweigh the need for rigorous testing.
It's like they're playing a dangerous game of catch-up,
Exactly.
trying to fix security flaws after the fact instead of prioritizing safety from the beginning.
It's like building a race car with a supercharged engine but neglecting the brakes and hoping for the best.
Yikes. And let's not forget about cybersecurity.
Oh, right.
These AGI systems are incredibly valuable, which makes them prime targets for theft by foreign adversaries.
We're talking about technology that could fundamentally shift the balance of power.
Right.
One former employee even shared a story about how lax security at OpenAI might have allowed someone to steal advanced systems like GPT-4.
That's a truly chilling thought.
It is.
Imagine someone getting their hands on that kind of power and using it for their own agenda.
Doesn't bear thinking about.
It's clear that the risks associated with AGI are enormous.
Absolutely.
So the question is, what can we do about it?
Right.
Is regulation even possible when AI is developing at such a breakneck speed?
That's the million-dollar question.
I think so.
On one side, you have companies saying it's too early to regulate, that we don't understand AI enough yet.
Right.
But on the other side, you have these experts saying we need to act now before it's too late.
So where do we go from here?
Well, thankfully, the experts we're looking at offer some pretty concrete solutions.
Okay, that's good.
One of the key recommendations is greater transparency when it comes to high-stakes AI systems.
That makes sense.
The idea is that we need to be able to see what's happening inside these systems,
Yeah,
especially when they're being used in ways that could significantly impact people's lives.
right.
Think about AI being used to determine parole eligibility or approve loan applications.
Yeah,
We need to be able to understand how those decisions are being made.
that's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
There's also a call for more investment in research focused on evaluating and mitigating the risks of AI. Basically, putting more resources towards figuring out how to make sure AI is safe and beneficial.
Right. It's not enough to simply develop this technology.
Right.
We need to understand how to control it and prevent unintended consequences.
Another important suggestion is establishing a robust system for third-party audits of AI development and deployment.
Yes.
This would provide independent oversight and help ensure that companies are adhering to ethical standards.
We can't just rely on self-regulation here.
Right.
We need independent experts to assess the risks and hold these companies accountable.
And then there's the need for stronger whistleblower protections.
Oh, for sure.
We need to make sure that people who see problems within these AI companies can speak up without fear of retaliation.
The insights from these former OpenAI employees are a perfect example of why whistleblowers are so important.
Right.
They often have unique perspectives and crucial information about the potential risks.
Absolutely. They're the canaries in the coal mine.
Yes.
We need to make sure they can sound the alarm if they see danger ahead. We also need more technical expertise within the government.
Yes, we do.
If we're going to regulate this rapidly evolving field, we need policymakers who understand the technology and its implications.
It's not enough to have good intentions. We
Right.
need the knowledge and expertise to develop effective regulations.
And finally, we need to figure out who's responsible when AI systems cause harm.
Yes, that's a big one.
Is it the developer?
Right?
The company that deployed it?
The user.
Yeah, this issue of liability is a major question that needs to be addressed.
If we're going to integrate AI into our society responsibly, we need to have clear guidelines about who's accountable when things go wrong.
So, faced with these daunting risks, what can we do?
Well, the experts we're looking at offer some concrete solutions,
Okay.
but it all comes back to changing the game.
Okay.
One expert used a great analogy to describe the tech industry's approach to safety and regulation.
Okay.
He compared it to a group of people running away from a bear.
Oh, wow.
The idea is that these companies are so focused on outpacing each other.
On not being the slowest? That they're
Ah.
not taking the time to think about the bigger picture?
They're so caught up in the race that they're not considering where they're running or what dangers might lie ahead.
Exactly.
This don't be the slowest mentality is driven by the current incentives in the tech industry, where speed and profit often take priority over safety and ethics.
Unfortunately, yeah.
And that brings us to another important concept, open source AI.
Okay.
Can you explain what that means and why it matters in this context?
Sure. Open source AI refers to systems where the underlying code and data are freely available to the public.
Okay.
The idea is to foster collaboration and speed up innovation.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a big concern about making powerful AI technology so easily accessible.
I can see why.
Think about it. If anyone can get their hands on the building blocks of AGI,
Yeah.
what's to stop them from using it for harmful purposes?
One of the experts argued that excluding open source AI from regulation would be a huge mistake.
They said that once these models are out there, it's practically impossible to control how they're used or prevent them from falling into the wrong hands.
Trying to control open source AI is like trying to put toothpaste back in the tube.
Oh, yeah?
Once it's out there, it's out there.
Makes sense.
And this brings us to another critical issue that's deeply connected to AI development: data privacy.
Something that's been in the headlines a lot lately,
It has.
especially with Meta announcing they're using public content from Facebook and Instagram to train their AI systems in the UK.
Right. And what's interesting is that Meta isn't doing the same thing in the US.
Oh, really?
That's because the EU has much stronger privacy laws.
Hmm.
So Meta is being more cautious about how they use data from European citizens.
Which makes you wonder how our data is being used to train AI systems here in the US.
It does.
Are companies taking the necessary steps to protect our privacy?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And this is where those calls for regulation become even more urgent. We need clear rules and safeguards to ensure our data is used ethically and responsibly.
Makes sense.
It's about finding that balance between fostering innovation and protecting our fundamental rights.
Right.
And I think this is a good point for us to pause and reflect on what we've covered so far.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a real wake-up call.
Yeah.
This whole discussion about AGI
Mm,
highlights something really crucial.
okay.
The future of AI isn't just being decided in labs and boardrooms.
Right.
It's being shaped by public awareness
Yeah.
and engagement.
Okay. So,
What we're seeing is that even those who help build these systems are sounding the alarm.
what does this mean for for you, the listener?
It means we can't afford to be passive bystanders.
Right.
We need to stay informed, ask
Yeah.
questions,
Mm-hmm.
and make our voices heard.
Make our voices heard, okay?
These experts are urging us to demand greater transparency, stronger regulations,
Right.
and a much more cautious approach to AI development.
Okay.
They're worried that if we don't act now, things could quickly spiral out of control.
So they're really saying hey, we created this incredibly powerful technology, but we're not sure we can control it.
Exactly.
We need everyone's help to figure this out.
We need all hands on deck.
Yeah, they're also saying, we need to learn from our mistakes.
Right.
We can't keep prioritizing speed and profit over safety and ethics.
Absolutely.
We need to be more thoughtful about AI.
Yes.
One that considers the consequences for everyone, not just those who stand to profit from it.
They're asking us to really grapple with those potential consequences,
Right.
both positive and negative.
Both positive and negative, yeah. And to be honest, some of those potential negatives are pretty scary.
They are.
One of the things that really struck me about these accounts
Yeah.
was this sense of urgency.
It's palpable.
It's clear that we're at a critical point.
We're on the verge of creating technology that could fundamentally change the way we live, work, and interact with the world.
Yeah.
And the decisions we make now will have lasting consequences.
Another point that really stood out to me was the emphasis on transparency.
Oh, absolutely.
It's not just about understanding how these AI systems work
Right.
on a technical level.
It's about understanding the decision-making processes,
Right.
the data they're trained on,
Mm-hmm.
and the potential biases that might be baked into those systems.
So imagine a world where AI is making decisions about who gets a loan, who gets hired for a job, or even who gets released on parole. But we have no idea how those decisions are being made.
That's a chilling thought.
We need to be able to hold these companies accountable
We do.
to make sure they're using AI in a way that benefits everyone,
Exactly.
not just a select few.
And we need to empower individuals and communities to have a say in how this technology is developed and used.
Right, it can't be.
It can't be something that's decided in secret behind closed doors.
We need to move beyond the hype and the headlines.
Yes.
And really grapple with the ethical and societal implications of AGI.
We need to get down to the nitty-gritty.
Yeah, it's about thinking critically, asking tough questions,
Yes.
and demanding answers.
Absolutely.
One of the biggest questions we need to ask ourselves is, what role do we want to play in shaping the future of AI?
That's a great question.
Do we want to be passive consumers of this technology, just accepting whatever is put in front of us?
Right.
Or do we want to be active participants, ensuring it aligns with our values?
And doesn't exacerbate existing inequalities?
I think these accounts from former OpenAI employees are a powerful reminder that we have a choice.
They've shown us that even those who are involved in building this technology have concerns.
Right.
And they're urging us to take those concerns seriously.
They've given us a glimpse behind the curtain,
Yeah.
revealing the potential dangers and the urgent need for a more thoughtful and ethical approach.
And they've also reminded us that the future of AI isn't predetermined.
It's not.
It's something we can and must shape together.
And a big part of shaping that future is grappling with the tension between innovation and regulation.
It's a delicate balance.
We want to encourage progress,
Of course.
but we also need to make sure that progress doesn't come at the expense of safety and ethics.
We need to find a way to have both.
So how do we strike that balance?
Well, these experts offer some interesting perspectives.
Okay.
They argue that regulation can actually foster innovation
Oh, interesting.
by creating a level playing field.
Okay.
If everyone is playing by the same rules,
Yeah.
it can prevent a race to the bottom where companies are cutting corners and prioritizing speed over safety.
Right, just to stay ahead of the competition.
Exactly.
Regulation can also provide much-needed clarity and guidance for companies developing AI.
That's right.
Right now, there's a lot of uncertainty about what's permissible and what's not.
It's a bit of a Wild West out there.
Clear regulations can actually help companies make responsible choices and develop AI in a way that benefits everyone.
It can provide a framework for responsible innovation.
So instead of seeing regulation as a hindrance, they're saying it can be a catalyst for responsible innovation. It's about finding that sweet spot where we're promoting progress while also protecting ourselves from the potential dangers.
Finding that balance is key.
As you continue to explore this topic, it's worth thinking about what kind of regulatory framework would best achieve that balance.
It's a critical question, especially considering what we've learned about the potential risks of AGI.
This is powerful technology
It is.
with the potential to reshape our world,
Absolutely.
and we need to make sure we're shaping it in a way that aligns with our values and aspirations.
We need to be intentional about the future we're creating.
Now, I know this is a lot to take in,
It is a lot.
but instead of feeling overwhelmed, I hope you're feeling empowered.
That's the goal.
These former OpenAI employees have given us a valuable roadmap for navigating the challenges and opportunities of the AI age.
They've given us a lot to think about.
They've shown us that we can make a difference.
You can.
We can demand better from the companies developing this technology.
Absolutely.
And we can work together to ensure AI benefits humanity as a whole.
It's a collective effort.
That's a really powerful message.
It is.
And it brings us to a critical question that I want to leave you with today.
Okay, I'm listening.
What role do you want to play in shaping the future of AI?
Yeah, it really boils down to this. The future of AI isn't just about algorithms and data sets.
Right.
It's about us.
Okay.
It's about our values,
Yeah.
the choices we make, and the kind of world we want to live in.
Exactly. And that's why it's so important to have these conversations,
It is.
to bring these issues out in the open,
Yeah.
and to hear from a variety of perspectives.
We need to hear all sides.
Right. The future of AI is too important to be left to a select few.
I agree.
It's something we all need to grapple with together.
These accounts from former OpenAI employees have been a real eye-opener.
They have.
They've highlighted the potential dangers, the urgent need for safeguards,
Like-
and the crucial role that public engagement plays in shaping this technology.
So it's like they're handing us a flashlight and saying, here, shine this light on what's happening. Ask questions. Demand answers. Don't be afraid to make some noise.
They've reminded us that we have a choice.
Okay.
We can either sit back and watch as this technology unfolds,
Right.
or we can actively participate in shaping its trajectory.
And the more informed and engaged we are, the better equipped we'll be to make those choices.
Absolutely.
So I want to leave you with a challenge.
Okay.
As you continue to learn about AI, don't just passively absorb information.
Great.
Dig deeper. Ask questions.
Challenge assumptions.
And don't be afraid to have those tough conversations with your friends, family, and colleagues,
Those conversations are crucial.
because this is something that affects all of us.
The future of AI is our collective responsibility.
Right. The more we talk about it, the more we understand it,
Yeah.
the better prepared we'll be to navigate the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead.
Now, I know this is a lot to take in,
It is.
but instead of feeling overwhelmed, I hope you're feeling empowered.
Yeah, these former OpenAI employees have given us a valuable roadmap.
A blueprint for the future.
Yeah, for navigating the challenges and opportunities of the AI age.
It's up to us to use it wisely.
Right. They've shown us that we can make a difference.
We absolutely can.
We can demand better from the companies developing this technology.
We have a voice.
And we can work together to ensure AI benefits humanity as a whole.
That's the ultimate goal.
That's a great note to end on.
It is.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of AGI.
It's been a pleasure.
It's been an incredible journey.
And I hope it's inspired you to keep learning,
Yeah.
keep questioning, and keep diving deep.
Until next time.